Well, from Adam to Noah was 10 generations of offspring, and they were all begotten and no conception. The same was true for the next 10 generations from Noah to Abram, later known as Father Abraham. All 10 generations of men named were begotten by their father, and there was no mother named. However, from Noah to Abraham, no females were begotten, like the previous 10 generations from Adam to Noah. But next, the 9th generation from Noah was Terah, and he begat Abram, later known as Abraham. There was no mother, and he married the queen Sarai, a mystery. She was fair, white, like Eve. Nobody knows where she came from. She, like the Virgin Mary's, had no bloodline listed in Chronicles. That book, it probably lists 25, 30,000 people, Jimmy and Joey and this and that. You know why that book is there? For the few that aren't. Sarai's one of them, and she is the queen bee. Things had gone wild as Jehovah destroyed the Sodomites in Sodom and Gomorrah, and the brother of Abram, Lot, who escaped, was made drunk by his 2 daughters, and they had children with their dad. Well, that's called incest. Now the biggest event in creation, a third angelic. Father El from sky heaven, who had stayed silent since the war in heaven before creation, comes into the book. He possesses the earth from the gods in Genesis 14:19. But Melchizedek, the high priest, blessed Abram and said, "Blessed be Abram, the most high of the most high God, El, possessor of heaven and earth," the big kahuna. It is here where the supreme deity from sky heaven intervenes. He gives his warning. He will come. He will give his testimony through his Adam, his son, and call it the New Testament. Genesis 14:19. The testimony of the Old Testament of Elohim and Yehovah had a timeline. The killing and incest will stop, and the New Testament will come forward in Father El and his testimony through his Adam, who is begotten, neither mother nor father, the last Adam. Read the book. Crack the code. Find the truth. Sarai, the queen and wife of Abram, was barren in the womb and could not have a child, and said, "Jehovah has restrained me from bearing, and I need children." Genesis 16:2. So the queen Sarai gave her handmaiden Hagatha. Ever heard the old hag? Well, that's where it came from. Hagatha lay with her husband Abram. Hagatha bare Ishmael, the first of 10 stepsons by handmaidens. An angel of Jehovah met Hagatha and said to her, "Ishmael will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him." And the hatred between the east and the west had begun. And Ishmael was blessed by the angel and will later become, guess what? The mighty nation of Islam. Yep, Genesis 6:10 through 12. Read it for yourself. And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Jehovah Lord appeared to Abram and said to him, "I am the mighty God, walk before me, and be thou perfect." Genesis 17:1. Next, Jehovah makes a covenant with Abram and promises to multiply his seed. Two verses later, Elohim, God, appears and makes a covenant with Abraham that he will be the father of many nations. And then he changes his name from Abram to Abraham, Genesis 17:3. Here we go again. 2 covenants, 2 gods. Heard that one before? Jehovah makes a covenant with Abram, promising to multiply his seed in Genesis 17:3. 3 verses later, Elohim, God, makes a covenant with Abraham to be the father of many nations. So which one is it? Abraham, just like Noah 10 generations before, has Elohim and Jehovah making deals. Things are heating up. Next, Elohim tells Abraham Sarai has a new name of Sarah, and Elohim blessed Sarah. Elohim promised Abraham a son with Sarah and named him Isaac, Genesis 17:19. But shortly thereafter, Jehovah promised Abraham a son in Genesis 18:10, but no name commanded. Afterwards, Elohim blesses Ishmael and promises many princes in that great nation of Islam. But Elohim said, "My covenant is with Isaac, the unborn son of Sarai." Genesis 17:21. Jehovah blesses Ishmael and the mighty Islam. Elohim blessed Isaac and the coming kingdom of Israel. Later, Jehovah appears to Sarah and did as he promised. The same for Eve and the virgins marries, and Sarah conceives. Study the book. Crack the code. You will find the truth for yourself. The birth of Sarai's son Isaac divides the kingdom, and Sarai the queen runs Haggith and her son Ishmael off along with the 9 other sons and mothers. Be gone with ya. Get rid of those concubines, she said to her husband. And Israel became a nation, and Islam becomes another nation. The first son of the queen and southern kingdom is Isaac, and the stepbrother of Ishmael.